you're not in New Orleans.
Hello and welcome to my channel Travel Treasure. It's a beautiful but hot day in New York today. In summer it usually never feels less than 40 degrees, and today is not an exceptional day. I'm waiting for you all to come and we shall begin very soon. I will show you Empire State Building. Maybe you can see it in reflection of my sunglasses. Come join. I'm waiting for a few seconds and we shall begin. You can actually see the DJI Osmo that I use for streaming. I'm now using the old one because the new one I have just no time to adjust and it's way too shaky. Hello, hello, Frank the Tank. Well, hello, Wisconsin. Alright, I guess it's time for me to switch to the other camera. Okay, so we're beginning as almost always by the Empire State Building, and next to it is of course trash. Trash, stickiness, dirtiness. Unfortunately, New York is not the best in that sense, but here is the Empire State Building for you. And we will go towards downtown area today. I hope everyone is doing great on this Friday afternoon, right before weekend. Weather in New York, they say, has not been the best. I have not spent that much time in June here, so I was only here in July, but I'm leaving again next week. But in the past couple of days, there were, 3 days, there was thunder, there was crazy rain, because of which even the hot dog contest, the famous one on July 4th, was cancelled. But then actually it was not really cancelled, but it was postponed. The lady who was eating hot dogs won, and then the men's spot they had to postpone because it was like pouring rain, and since it's happening hello Sergey, and since it's all happening outside, they had to delay the second part, but it still happened. And on that day I just happened to be on Brighton Beach, which is very close to Coney Island, where that contest was taking place, and we were caught in the rain, and even people with umbrellas. Well, umbrellas were useless on that day. You said you were coming back to Wisconsin in 2 weeks. I did not say that, no way. I said that I would be traveling again in 2 weeks, and that was a few days ago. Now, next week I am going back to Europe, actually, not to Wisconsin. There is nothing to do in Wisconsin, right? I mean, nature, probably like cheese and stuff, but that's about it. The last time I was in Wisconsin was 21 years ago. Crazy how time flies. Hello, Eric. Hello, everyone. So today, where shall we go today? Well, first of all, we will go to a park which is called Madison Square Park. I believe that there was an event at Madison Square Garden yesterday, which is located not that far from this park. Maybe it's happening today. I think it's a wrestling event. Well, in that park we will see art, new art installation, which, if you can, please explain to me, because I can never understand American art. After that, I will show you Flatiron District, well, Flatiron Building to be exact. Then on Broadway we will go down to 14th Street, where there is Union Square, and from there we will go to Arch. arch on Washington Square Park. And then, yes, Kevin, we will go to Soho, and maybe, depending on time, maybe we will go to Chinatown as well. But that means I have to do a lot of walking today. And just as a reminder, it feels, well, in Fahrenheit it feels like 100 degrees. In Celsius it feels like 40 degrees. Thank God there is little wind, because usually with such weather there is no wind and it's extremely hot. So I never drink water. I know I have to, but I don't. So I didn't take any water with me, so let's see how far we can go. Times Square. I was thinking to go to Times Square, but I had to choose between Times Square and going the exact opposite direction. So the second option won today. Nice weather. The weather is perfect. And then I have to go back to the office. Next week, Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember, is when I am leaving again. Before then, I hope to stream one more time, and hopefully it will be from New Jersey. And I would like to thank people who contribute to life of this channel, to different adventures on this channel, by sending super likes, super cards, by sending money donations. And why I'm mentioning it, why I'm saying this specifically now, is because to go to New Jersey it costs money. So one of the factors that sometimes stops me is that, because I need to pay for everything. So if you want to help to expedite us going to New Jersey, which is actually only like across, someone is smoking weed, I hate it, just across the river from, on the other side of Hudson River, please do so. Hello RJ from Colorado. Good to see you, and good to see you, Frank, too. I didn't mention it today. So I haven't seen you in live streams in a long time. If you have any interesting plans for this weekend, please share. I think that there will be Sunday in New York on weekend, I believe on Sunday. But it's been the case for, well, this year, in June and July, there has been nothing but rain and thunders. Someone would complain about this, but for New York, where everything I apologize for the connection. I had a call which I had to decline. Hello, Max. I believe in Arizona it's even more humid and hotter than here, right, Max? Any plans to go to New York? That was a question addressed to Max Lowe. Nice building, nice architecture here. I like when buses and school buses are small in the city, because with the amount of cars and traffic, that's the best option. They said that the sound of emergency vehicles will be reduced to the same level as they have in Europe. So far it has not been done, so they continue to kill ears of passers-by. How much do I have to send to get you to visit Wisconsin? Oh no, sorry, no money can buy this. What is there in Wisconsin? All you have to send is a track, something interesting, something that way I will say, oh yes, I'm going there. Like, I don't know, someone lived there, or I don't know, something is going to happen there, something like that. So that's the only thing that can interest me, because money can definitely not buy my trip to Wisconsin. Seriously. If you guys are into wrestling, or if you know what happened at in Madison Square Garden yesterday, let me know, because there were like so many vehicles, and I think they were like wrestling vehicles. Oh, yesterday, by the way, if you guys live in New York, you know Equinox, So I went to Equinox in Hudson Yards. Oh my God. My question is, where do people get all the free time, and where do they get all the money that they can afford, that they have to afford going to Equinox? Membership at this specific gym, I think in that specific location, is like $420 per month. It's a lot of money. Okay, most people there are LGBT, specifically gays. Without working, how do you get this money? I want to do the same. I mean, not work and have all the billions. Can someone share a secret with me? Largest music fest in the world is happening now, Summerfest. I am not a fan of music. I do not listen to music. If I ever do listen to, and this is why it's always tough for me to find music to my shorts videos here on YouTube. The only music I can listen to, and again, I'm not a fan of it, is like old type of music. Mostly European. So that's not an attraction to me, Frank. 112 degrees but no humidity. Yes, NYC in August. Nice. 112 is a lot, but no humidity is nice. I think that's just about how New York feels with the humidity here, Max. And how long are you staying here in August? I will actually be gone for most of August. I will be in my country, and I will try to do a few streams from there while I'm there. I try to escape New York in summer as much as I can, as much as possible. There is if someone knows a company called Sony, that's the head office here in this building. Then there is a court building here which we will pass, and then we will go inside this park, Madison Square Park. Ever visit Japan, Natalia? No, I have never been to Japan. But it is on my list of places to go to. Out of all the Asian countries, the only one I want to visit is Japan. Have you been to Japan, Frank? Hello, Ricky. Are you not working again? You must be really enjoying this weather break, right? Oh, when I went to Brighton Beach, I thought I would swim in the ocean because there were so many people inside water. It was enough for me to touch the water to understand that I was not going to swim. It's so freezing. It's like it felt same as in winter when you put your feet in water and then it's like your feet become numb. So that was about this. But I don't know how so many people didn't care, those who were in water. This is horrible. I know you like it, Ricky. So this is the building of court. Anyone can go inside. It's not the court that is in like downtown, but anyone can go inside, participate, well, not participate, but watch any hearing, just like in other courts which are in downtown, including Supreme Court, unless it's a closed hearing, which are not so many. Let me show the building of the courthouse to you from here. Couple of weeks in New York City and then Miami for a while. Very nice. With that one lady of yours who lives here. There's a nice, well, unusual sculpture right here. Wait, let me zoom in. Why can I not do that? Look, there used to be a second one like this inside, but they removed it. It's a weird sculpture, but what is not weird in New York these days? And what are your plans for New York, Max? Since you've been here so many times already. That's the company that is here, the head office. All right, so now let's go to the park. Since I went to Equinox yesterday, where there were so many people by the pool, so I was like, I don't tan. What is enough for me is like I can walk somewhere in the street and I get tan immediately if it's sunny outside. So I try to actually avoid the sun, but there can be like 1, 2, maybe 3 times a year in summer where I lay in the sun. And when I say lay in the sun, that's no more than 2 hours usually. So yesterday was one of these days, and I only went there because it was Thursday, so it was not the weekend, so I expected there to be not a lot of people. Oh, I was so wrong. It was so crowded. From there I went to the gym to stretch a little, and I realized how selfish people are, because like I wanted to use certain machines, certain equipment, but then they were like standing next to it or like on it without doing anything, and just like googling something on their phones or something, or talking to someone. And when I came and a few times and asked if they were using it, they confirmed that they were. I'm like, are you kidding me? I didn't go into the fight, but I should have probably. It's like, come on. Yes, my Italian, nice. Work from home is the best. I hate, well, I don't think that working from home is good. I appreciate companies who forced their employees to go back to the office. Shayla P, who is that, will create her first outdoor exhibition, my neighbor's garden in Madison Square Park. No idea who she is. Hello, Joey. Nice flowers in the park and art which I told you I cannot understand. Can someone explain how can this be called art? So if you just hang something that someone threw out and call it art, that becomes art? Okay then. Oh, by the way, if you guys have Instagram, if you're using Instagram, and if you heard yesterday that this Zuckerberg decided, oh, I'm sorry, I probably mispronounced his name. So this Zuckerberg, he decided to be the copycat for Elon Musk and decided to do threads on Instagram. If you have already added yours, raise your hands. I'm not sure if I will be doing that, because first of all, I don't like Twitter. Secondly, if it's similar to Twitter, I'm not doing it. Third, what's the point? Plus, it's just another thing that will take so much time, right? Yeah, that's exactly what I said, Zuckerberg. Excuse my Russian accent. No, I'm just saying it on purpose.
I usually see them.
But let it be considered my Russian accent.
Okay.
It is an artist who designed the red wooden structures where vines will grow through the summer. Okay. Interesting. There is a dog park. This part is for big dogs, and next to it is a park for small dogs. In New York, they separate both parks in many places. And there are quite a few dog parks here, more than in Europe. And I do think that more people have dogs here compared to Europe, at least from my observation. And this is a park for small dogs. I have enough social media, that's it for me. I think the same. I don't know if it's a separate one or if it's something within Instagram, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's taken so much time, and like you have to be like 100% into social media in order to like add more and more and more. And spend time on everything. I only have Instagram and YouTube, and I don't even have time for both of them. Like sometimes I completely forget to post something on Instagram. Sometimes I have no time to stream something here on YouTube. And now, like right before going back to work, I decided to stream because I know that I promised you guys that I will stream a few times before I go back to... By the way, where do you think I'm going to next? Which country? And that will be next week already. I'm not sure. I'm going to investigate it to see anyway. Well, it's interesting to know, to be aware, but whether to use or not, I'm not so sure. Okay, let me show you Flatiron building from a little from afar. And then we will go to Union Square. And I saw that some people were complaining that there are like numbers, something like million on the threads. So what? I mean, does it change anything? Okay, Flatiron building. The building which was purchased by, I guess, a millionaire or a billionaire not so long ago, just a few months ago, and it's still under construction. One of the thinnest buildings in New York. At the bottom of it, there are usually a lot of events that are being held. I think just yesterday something was happening here. And in some, it's also a nice place to sit and relax. Right across the street, there is a place called Italy, which is spelled a little differently than the name of the country, and they do sell products from that country. Pricey, but still. And in general, price for food, restaurants, they are less expensive here in New York compared to Europe. Say hi to squirrel. I've not seen so many squirrels here in summer. Squirrels already hide whatever they find, nuts and something else, getting ready for cold, cruel winter. Right? My guess is you are going to Spain. Close, but no. What do we have here in the park? Well, there is a Christmas tree which they put here in winter, and there is a tree lighting ceremony. Also, there is a line which you can always see here. And Ricky, look, another Metro card. The line is like day and night. It's to Shake Shack. The best burgers. They're so good. So, boogers? How do you? No, not burgers. Burgers. Now Americans can laugh at me. They're here. So the best, the freshest, the best of the best. Now we are going with you to Subway in order to check the balance on this card. Rick is always laughing at me because I always find Metro cards and they always have balances on them. So let's see if this time there is anything. You missed Nightbot, Ricky, didn't you? I love nature. So yes, they are my friends, Kevin. All right, so if we continue on this street, which is like in front of the Lego store, that would be 5th Avenue. And we would get to the arch where we will head to next. But that's not where we're headed now. We'll first go to Subway to check the Metro card. Then we will go to Union Square, 14th Street, and only from there we will... Okay, so where can we check the balance? Of course, one time when I don't need Subway, it's right here, right now. Alrighty, let's check. It says please swipe again. Okay, we can check here, we can check here. $1.25 only. Still, it's not enough even for one ride. It's enough for, well, if you add $1 more to it, then it's one ride. Which one was that, Kevin? Because well, don't shake. Cherry peppers. Well, they are all good. That's why I'm not eating them. You rather walk? What? Rick, no way. You walk? Alright, so now we are going to cross and we will walk on Broadway. So Broadway is the longest street that crosses the whole New York City, well, Manhattan for sure, and this is the street that goes by diagonal. So who else will guess where I will go this time? In August, unless something changes, I am going to the place of my birth. Hopefully they allow connection there, American connection, so that I am able to show you Moscow. That really never sleeps. They say that New York never sleeps. Bullshit. When people come here, first thing they say is complain about everything closing early, like banks, stores, restaurants, clubs. So New York does sleep. The only thing that doesn't sleep in New York is honking and loud sounds of emergency vehicles. Rats. Actually, I haven't seen rats here in a while. Going to the big R. What do you mean? Oh, if someone is playing Mega Millions and Powerball, it's now $4.50 for Mega and $9.50 for Power. Good luck to these who play, or to those who play. Union Square, where we are going now, that's a square where there are trees. Yes, it's unusual in New York, especially in Manhattan. There is usually, well, sometimes there is farmers market there, and a lot of crazy people doing crazy stuff, including some guys smoking and selling marijuana. I will always be against it because I don't think it's okay. Yeah. It's really, really hot. Houses here resemble houses like in the Soho area, more and more, but we're also approaching Soho. If people are new to my channel and if you have not heard me say that before, Soho stands for, the first two letters stand for South. Ho, the last two letters, stand for Houston, which is spelled same way as Houston. So south of Houston Street. There is also a neighborhood called NoHo. I guess you can guess where it's located relative to Houston Street and why it's called that way. I love to sweat. I don't really sweat, Rick. Even when I work out. Well, not that I work out ever, but when I did. When I was not lazy. But I love the sweater, that's true. I much rather it being as hot as now compared to the cold in winter. Houses here look somewhat European. but they are much younger and much less reliable. People complain that there are city bikes that are always broken or that are just not there, not standing in the stations where people expect to. Well, there are so many here now, but yeah. Oh, and by the way, so there are regular city bikes and there are electric city bikes. So for electric ones, if you have a membership, an annual membership is about $200 now, and you can use, I believe, for 40 minutes bikes for free, unless they are electric bikes. So for electric bikes, you pay an additional price. If you come to one of these stations and the only bikes that are available are electric, then they charge you the price for the regular bike, or don't charge you if you use for less than 40 minutes and if you have a membership. And we're approaching Union Square. On Union Square there is a store called Barnes & Noble, which is a bookstore, and a lot of celebrities, so whenever they present their new book, almost always it takes place here. There was Clinton here, there were so many people. Sarah Jessica Parker, not so long ago. Hello, Gia! Long time no see. I was just thinking about you the other day. Am I still in France? No, I'm not in France. I was in France for just 3-4 days. So nope, not anymore. But I will be traveling again soon. And no one guessed so far where to. Why damn, Ricky. Paragon, that's a store where they sell sporting goods. Expensive, always better to buy online. There are not very many stores to sell sports stuff here in Manhattan. Maybe in other boroughs, but not in Manhattan. Many places to sit in summer, but the problem is that they are often used by homeless people or like drug addicts, so tourists don't know that, so they don't mind sitting on these chairs, but I do. Oh yes, and today there is a farmer's market in the square. Perfect. Trash. They said that there are supposed to be rules and they were supposed to be effective on the 1st of April, and fines were supposed to be effective for this on May 1st, but nothing has changed. Rules are such that if you take trash in a container, you can do it at 7 p.m. If a bag like that, only up to 9 p.m. No one cares, no fines are imposed, but whatever. The ground here is very, very, very hot because, as you see, there is a pipe with some smoke coming out of it. That's because the pipe under us has broken and the steam, the very hot steam, is coming out of this pipe, and in order for it to be, well, before it gets repaired, they put such orange and white pipes outside that are taller than probably, like, I don't know, like 7 feet, so that it doesn't burn any even tall human being. Did the Sky Line get longer recently? I thought I read they added to it. Yes. So what they did, they put a bridge on the level of Hudson Yards. I will actually post some pictures on Instagram, maybe here, maybe on YouTube, I'm not sure. And so they connected where the Hudson Yards, like, skyscrapers are, They extended it just by maybe like 200 meters. I'm not sure how many feet this is, but not a lot. But I hope they will connect it to Penn Station eventually. So it's not very far from. So okay, let's say Hudson Yards is on 10th Avenue, so they extended it to 9.5 Avenue. So not by much, but still nice. I just went to my aunt's house in the city. That's why I was not attending your live streams. Nice. Is the inflation? I think there is always inflation. Not there is inflation in the USA. I think now it's on the level of maybe like 4%. Before COVID, it was, I believe, 1 or 2%. So really small. But I don't think it has gotten to the level where it's to pre-COVID level yet. I think in 2021, so 2022, it was like 8%. Yeah, so you would think that products on farmers market, because they don't have to, well, they actually do transport them here, but even in farms, like you would think that they're cheaper because they don't have to pay the transportation fee, some taxes, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. But they're always much more expensive than in stores. I don't know how that works. And honestly, I don't care about anything being like organic because I don't believe in that. But all that the organic word does is increases price. But I will show it. I think I might have showed it. If I haven't, I will post it here, Frank, because I don't think that you're on Instagram, so let me post it here, what it looks like. There's like a wooden bridge and then just a nice road that goes not too far from where it ended before. But I think that their idea with Highline is to extend it along Hudson River even more. Not towards Penn Station, but along Hudson River. The market is nice. It is nice. Yes. So in summer there are such markets, and in winter here there is a Christmas market which sometimes sells the exactly same things. It's a nice place here. We can look at this market from above. Well, we won't go there now because I don't know how connection there will be. But if you do want to see this from above, then all you have to do is go inside this store here, which is Burlington, and just continue to up the escalator, and there you go. You can see what the square looks like from above. Organic food is big stupidity to spend money quickly. Yes, but many people believe in this. I do not blame them. If they choose to believe in that, if they have money enough to buy organic products, so be it. I like, even if there is like something organic and and the non-organic thing is missing in the store, let's say cherries. I want cherries so badly, I go to the store. Usually they sell both organic and non-organic products. If I see that they sell only organic stuff, I would not buy it. Of course, if there is a choice, I always choose the non-organic crap. But it's fresher. So what is fresher? From farmer's market or from the farm? I'm not so sure. It might be fresher, but I don't know. Like, unless you pick it up yourself, and when you see that, when you know for sure that it's fresh, then
I feel like if they can make longevity,
I don't know. Alright, so now we're walking on the street called University Place, and it will lead us to which university? Who knows? There are homeless people who, and it's a trend of 2019, and they have continued even now, who collect, whose birthday it's every day, and who always has $40, a little too few, to pay for the hotel or whichever amount. It never changes. Just like for me, I always say, oh, tomorrow is when the day when I will start losing weight, and tomorrow never comes. So it reminds me of them as well. Well, tomorrow always comes tomorrow will always be tomorrow. Good job, Kevin. It leads us to NYU, New York University. Because of the inflation in my country, I have started to eat only breads because it's cheap. Are you kidding me? Seriously? What is the percentage of inflation in your country, Gia? It's crazy. And do you grow your own things, or do you buy everything in the store? I survived on the two. Are you kidding me? Is that serious? Is it that bad? But if inflation is such, have salaries changed? You lose weight? Oh yeah, I need to.
Got you.
I keep telling myself every single day, tomorrow is the day. Well, I cannot catch up with tomorrow. Avoid bread to lose weight. I must confess that my loneliness, I bought, like, and sometimes I do buy, but I think it's a French bakery, so at least it tastes the same, which means good. Like small roll with cheese. Oh, yesterday I had one, it's so good. But then I feel so bad. Not because I feel heavy after it, but because I blame myself for eating it, because I know that I ate it and I shouldn't. But I almost don't eat anything else, so I guess it's okay once in a while. Pakistan is severely damaged by inflation. What is the percentage of inflation, Gia? Too much bad condition here in Pakistan. I'm sorry to hear it or to read it. I saw that inflation in Turkey is enormous, and I think that the only way Turkey survives is from Russian tourists. Roberto, hello. Oh, Robert, sorry, Robert. I love that gold horse in the window. Yes, they opened that restaurant not so long ago. You're just listening. Hey Rick, you must know about something that was at Madison Square Garden yesterday, or maybe it's happening today. Is there some wrestling event? I'm sure you're aware of that. Alright, so we are... Which street is that? On 11th Street. So on the 7th Street is where buildings of New York University will begin. Oh, I found the red finally. There we go. Almost 30% inflation. That's crazy. That's so much. Hold on, guys. I need to. 1 second. What is SmackDown? Kevin? Natalia, you don't need. Oh, I do. Well, thank you all for writing this. Frank. Who else was it? But I do believe that I need to lose a few kilos. But to be honest with you, when I came back from Europe, I saw lower weight on my scale, so I had to move it because I thought that something was wrong with it. You know, sometimes when the floor is not even, that's when it doesn't show the right numbers. I'm like, no way. Like, after everything I have been eating there, ice cream, chocolate, like ice cream every single day, like the worst you can imagine. Chocolate, I was eating jam, I was eating croissant, I was eating bread, I was eating like all the bad stuff you can imagine. That's the only things, these are the only things that I was eating there. I was not eating any fruit, I was not eating anything healthy. And after that, so I really felt like a cow. And I haven't seen my weight on the scales. I'm like, no way. like after having eaten all that crap for almost 2 weeks, I lost weight. I'm like, how does that work? So having been motivated to have started losing weight finally, I decided to continue. So now I want to lose like 3 more kilos. That would be my perfect weight. Yes, Monday Night Raw. SmackDown is a wrestling event by WWE. What's WWE? Wrestling something something. But good to know. I've heard the inflation rate in Pakistan is almost 40%. That's sick. But Gia, have they changed salaries as well in proportion to the inflation? Yes, God save Pakistan and every other country in the world. I can't get wet, but I'm still not stopping myself watching videos on YouTube because I'm very addicted to it. So, what did you have to cut on, Gia? I feel bad asking like this type of things, and I feel sorry for what you are going through, but I do hope that it will change. How much do you pay for internet in Pakistan, if I may ask, Gia? It's crazy. Stores here, they give discounts for students. I'm not sure if it's all students or just NYU students. I would assume all, because otherwise it would be considered discrimination. And America is very careful about the word discrimination. So if you want, like if you're not happy with how someone is talking to you, you can say, oh, it's discrimination, and everyone is afraid of this word. So they are more careful after you mention just one word. Lordy, привет! I think we're all addicted to YouTube. Some people tell me, like asking like, do you watch this person, do you watch that person, or like recommend that I watch, I don't know, some streams, some videos, but unfortunately I have no time for that. The only thing that I watch on YouTube is something light, like something like type comedy club right before sleep, just so that I can get my mind off like the crazy things that were happening during the day, or like the craziness like running around during the day. Like for example today, after I received a letter, I don't know like how many times I received a letter from IRS already. IRS, that's how to describe that agency without using only the curse words. So that's the money suckers. That's the place that wants only money to take your money. And you cannot contact it in any other way than by calling or by sending fax or regular mail. You cannot email them. Even if you mail something or fax something, they don't respond to you. So it's like one-way money suckers. So I got letters that I underpaid something, even though I pay such huge freaking taxes from every single paycheck. In addition to that, I pay once a year, even though like I choose the option of paying more throughout the year so that I get a refund. But not only there is no refund, but I also have to pay. And so this money suckers, they sent me a letter for 2020 in 2023 that I underpaid. The problem is that not only they counted what I underpaid, but also there is a penalty for every single day. And since they don't respond to letters, like when you try to object or whatever, so they don't respond to letters, so every day the amount of fine increases. So right now the fine that I have is so huge. It's like 2 months rent. Seriously, in Manhattan. I hate them. So anyway, why I'm saying that, there is a lot of stress during the day, so just to relax at the end of it, That's what I watch, and that's the only thing I watch on YouTube, like something light, funny, relaxing. Yeah, and they hired, so, like, instead of like correcting real shit in the cities, they decided to hire so many people to suck your money at this IRS organization. And it really works only one way. Like when you try to get something from them, they're either slow or they're not doing it. Oh, they're selling wheat here. But the other way, they're sending you tons and tons of letters. And today I was with them on the phone, which is also a wrong thing of them, for 3 hours. Of course, in parallel, that was a wait time mostly. And I was speaking to some human being for like 30 minutes. Her computer was slow, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, well, send me that letter, because like now I have everything in writing. She's like, oh, you can pay like over the phone. I'm like, well, I need to have some justification, whatever. And she's like, well, we cannot send this letter. You can take my word for granted. I'm like, I'm not taking the word of IRS for granted. Are you kidding me? So, she's like, okay, I will send you like this. I cannot send you this, but I can send you that in the mail. I'm like, okay. So I was giving her, I don't know how many times I gave her my address, even though it's right in front of her, because I gave it in the very beginning. And she has all my information in front of her, but whatever. So, and then she's like, oh, by the way, it smells like weed. She's like, oh, by the way, I'm not in the office today, but I will send it on Monday. And when they say that equals that it will not be sent. So basically, I wasted 3 hours today. God damn it. Seriously, they are money suckers. One-way money suckers. They should rename their firm. Okay. Wisconsin has cows and you don't look like these cows. Oh, when I do, and especially when I put like roller skaters on me or something else. So trust me, a cow on ice or on roller skaters looks funny. Not would kick that table over. Oh, there are so many tables, but I don't want to touch crap, right? They sell weed here everywhere. I hate it. I don't mind people doing their business. If they want to smoke it, if they want to kill themselves, please do. But why am I supposed to be part of it if I involuntarily, I don't want it? Same with loud music, when, especially here in New York, when there's a car passing and it has music that the ground shakes the ground. Why am I supposed to listen to this? Did I sign anything where I agreed to that? No way. So this is the arch. To the right and to the left of this arch, on the other side, there is a Washington, George Washington. And yeah, so before the original arch was made of wood. Then just recently many years later they put this one, and just recently they added Washington here. It was put here for his inauguration. It's the norm in the city now with the smell, which is not supposed to be the case. It's crazy. As many days as I was in Europe, I didn't smell weed once. If people want to do it so that it doesn't bother other people. Do it in your home, where other people don't have to smell that crap. Do it in like wood where no one else can, well, not even in the wood because that's nature. But I mean, you know what I mean, right? They're selling it here, like they're selling it all over the park. It's not a weed smell, but I like weed. Rick, you are bad. Don't ever write this to me again. Or stay away from me if you do smoke weed. Or loud yes, exactly, Robert. Exactly. Do you live in New York? Hello, Kieran from the UK. Good to see you. I saw a rat having a smoke. Funny. But seriously, like, it seems like every second person here smells weed. And for those of you who don't know what a smell of weed is, it's something the most disgusting you can possibly imagine, something that makes you want to vomit. And this is the type of smell well, the smoke from weed, it does not just go away like cigarettes. It stays in the air, and even if someone is smoking it from, let's say, like 6th floor in some building, you don't see the person, but you smell that weed. Or if the person passed like 2 hours, well, an hour ago, the smell of weed is still in the air. So it's like stagnant air. Like imagine being like in a box where there is no air, and someone like eats or smells or takes out something with the most disgusting smell that you can possibly imagine, and that it stays there for at least like 30 minutes. That's exactly what the smell of weed is. Why do I not see any messages from Kevin? Oh, now I do. I wouldn't be surprised, Kevin. Seriously, I would not be surprised if Eret was smoking weed here. Seriously. There is also a dog park here, also for small and big dogs. This part of the park where we are going now, well, now it looks innocent, but this is the part where they sell very heavy drugs, even worse than weed. Oh yes, it smells everywhere here. It either smells, especially in Manhattan, it smells like vomit, mostly from what is like leftover, like liquid leftover of food, and or it smells like weed. Like when I walk outside, in at least 60% of cases, it smells like weed in places I go. Like now here someone is smoking weed. You can, like, you might not see the person who smokes, but it's there. Cops are there, but they don't do much. Well, weed is legal in New York. I think it's legal pretty much everywhere now in America. That's why they cannot do anything. They cannot enforce.
That way, so finish where America's at. Miss.
Hello, Ramses. Let me just go back to your messages. I don't want to miss anything that you wrote. You can't lie about what? Yeah, it's weed all over the place. See, even the smoker of weed says that. Well, anything goes in New York or elsewhere. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything else. Be careful. Yeah, well, you have to be always alert in New York. People love New York or hate New York. Tourists love New York because they're here for a limited number of days, a limited time, so they don't know all that New York has to offer. When people start to live here, start living here, then it's different, because they understand that they have to be, well, first of all, New York is for active people, because you are forced to use either public transportation, active or rich. So you either have to use public transportation, or you need to have enough money to use like taxis or Uber. Secondly, like type of person who just approached me, they're all over the place. Sometimes they can be like not vocal, so they can approach you from behind, or from like they can be like one of the other people among other people, but then they can do something violent. It didn't happen once, it happened many times when I saw it. Thank God not to me, but still. Then yesterday, and I will be posting it as a shorts video probably today on YouTube. So there was a person who looks innocent. He just looks like a question mark, meaning he's like, how to explain his posture, the way he was standing. So his knees a little bit down. He was touching with his forehead his knees. And he was like this in that position right next to Empire State Building for as long as I was there, which was like 2 minutes. And of course next to him there was a needle. So he's a drug addict. So it's all over the place. I'm not telling you to scare you, but New York has become that. So if, like, there is a proverb in Russian, in the Russian language, if you have information, you're prepared for everything. So it's to be aware of, because when tourists come here, That's not what they expect. It would be great if you don't run into this, if that's not what you see. But when people write to me, oh, you're just like, you hate New York, what are you doing here? Like, it's not there, like I was in New York. Well, you were probably not in New York to start with. Secondly, I am just warning you what to expect, and it would be great if it doesn't happen. But also pay attention to these black things. They're all over New York. This is not for like cables, for electricity, for anything different than a rat trap for catching rats. So it's there, and if you are ready for this, if you know that it might happen but doesn't happen, it's perfect. But if you know that it can happen and you can protect yourself in some way, even better, right? People who live here, confirm or deny. Am I just a bullshitter, or am I telling the actual facts? I have that happened to me, but I just ignored by walking away. Well, that's exactly what I did. San Francisco is just like that too. I know. So several cities, especially like big cities in America, suffer this problem. What just happened? Don't let anyone aggressively. Well, I cannot, and you cannot even order. Try if you're in New York. Try adding pepper spray to Amazon. You know that you cannot buy pepper spray online anywhere, so it cannot be delivered in New York. So how can you protect yourself? As what I learned recently, it is not illegal to carry pepper spray, but you cannot order it online. So how bad is that? Am I wrong, Rick? There is a street with a very interesting name here. It's called Mineta. Well, whenever I show it to Russian people, they laugh at it. Because what it means, in the, like if you translated it from the Russian language, it stands, well, the name of the tavern here has this, is the same. So Mineta.
They brought it back to New York.
What it stands for, and I'm sorry, I will translate it exactly the way it is. It's a low work, but just use a different word for work. Low work. Where can you buy pepper spray? Well, you can buy it in stores if they sell them. Also, I don't know how legal that is to sell in stores. You can buy in other states, and this is what New York smells like. So you see the color of it, so you can imagine what it smells like as well. It smells like food that went bad, that was liquid, and that stays here in the heat. I carry a flashlight with me just for self-defense. That's a good thing, Kevin. In Pakistan we have homeless people too, but not like people there. Well, the problem is there are not so many homeless people. Homeless people are always provided shelters, they're provided with food, they're provided with medical support, they're provided with all the necessary things, they're provided with money. The problem with these people is that they're not homeless. They are they have mental problems, and this is supported by the this is like supported, meaning places for mentally disabled people are closed in New York. Not only that, but also they have free dispensers of drugs now in New York. I mean, everything is done in order to spread them. That's the problem. Hello, Roberto. Happy Friday. If there's anyone from Mexico, I'm sure you will like that. Pakistani homeless people don't do drugs, but they do alcohol. There are not so many alcoholics here, not from what I've seen, but there are so many drug addicts all over the place, in Manhattan especially. And they're done everything. They're doing everything to promote that. Or yesterday, yeah, well, that's not drug addicts, but this is something else. Like yesterday, I was in the gym, 90% of people, and there were so many people. Again, I will post pictures here, which I have not done under the community tab here in a while, but I will. So there are so many people who are not just gays. If you're a gay, it's fine. But if you're a gay who is making out outside, like touching the private parts in the pool, outside next to the pool, when other people can see that, that is not okay, in my opinion. It's okay to love each other. It's okay if you are different. But I don't think it's okay to do that in public. You know, like to like the obvious. I mean, it's also not okay to do this for like straight people. It's okay to like kiss, you know, like hold hands, but not more. Even though, and people who understand what I mean, people who will understand what I mean, who want to understand. I'm old school type of person. I'm conservative type of people. I'm pro family and family values, right values. I was once addicted to hashish. Hashish is marijuana. Lucky people, they can be lucky if they use the opportunities correctly. Why we have homeless? There are not so many homeless, Roberto. Most people who are out there are drug addicts. But I don't have any addiction. That's good. If you're able to end your addiction and you can, yeah, well, chapeau. Good job, Gia. I'm proud of you. Let me just go back to messages to make sure that I didn't miss anything. This area was popular last month. This one? Why is that? Because of LGBT? Yes, good job. Okay, so now this street which we're going to cross, it's called West Houston Street, or simply Houston Street. This is the street that separates NoHo, which I was speaking to you about, from Soho. So Soho has very typical houses, which are usually like no more than 6 floors, well, sometimes maybe 10 floors houses. Usually those which you don't have elevator in, with stairs and what looks like balconies, but these are not balconies, these are fire escapes. LGBT stuff is considered serious crime in my country and in many Muslim countries. I know that. I believe we have homeless for many reasons. One is a family problem, lack of work. Well, as long as a person has 2 hands, 2 legs, and a working head, there is nothing preventing that person from working, especially in a country with so many opportunities such as the USA. I think that what does make people homeless many times, yes, sometimes it's family problems, but also price of rent, housing here in general. But where there is a wish, there is a way, especially New York and other states. They have a lot of programs to support people in need. So, as I said, where there is a wish, there is a way. But there are not many homeless. Out of 100 people who you would consider homeless, probably 99 are just drug addicts. Roberto. 75?
Yeah, you have a lot of mental illness. 99 is very high.
Well, but I mean, like compared to homeless people. So homeless people in New York and Manhattan, who I see, they're mostly like mentally disabled.
Mostly mentally ill, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are on drugs, but they self-medicating because they have mental illness, so they use the drugs to feel better.
No, but they inject like with the needle.
These
That's
are
something
drug
different.
addicts.
Exactly,
These are
and
drug
these are the
addicts.
most who I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are the drug addicts. These are unfortunate.
Yeah. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Have a good day. There you go. People are homeless in the USA because of the high rent prices. That too, yes. And thank you, man, for confirming exactly what I was saying. Born in the USA. Used to be wild shops back in the day. Where?
Now it's
So this is like a flea market. Sometimes they sell new stuff here, sometimes what has already been used. And that's me. I'm sorry if I missed some comments. As you saw, I'm carrying something because I'm going back to work after that. And with the sun, it's sometimes easy to miss things. If you guys want me to show you Lenin, I'm sure that everyone knows who Lenin is. We need to continue straight. It's approximately on the level of Chinatown, but not exactly. I'm not exactly sure that I will be able to find him, but let's try. He's right. Kevin, drop your channel link. Kevin, do you stream? So we're walking on the edge of the area that separates Soho, well, NYC, New York University, NYU area from Soho. If we go right, that's Soho already. But we've been there a few times, so let's just continue along this street. There is a pizza place which is the biggest, the longest pizza in probably the entire New York. It's I don't know how many meters long, maybe 2 meters long, so it is pretty big. I don't know if they have it now because it's not a weekend, but if we do find that place, let's just pass it and you will be able to see it yourself. Also, there is a famous place which is called Katz. It's famous for its pastrami. It's not located, so the original building of Katz was here and still is, but it's not the only one. I saw one in Brooklyn, and I don't know if there are other ones as well. Houses to the left, that's campus places where students of NYU University live. So New York University live. Am I laughing at you? Oh, Ricky's. Nat loves that craziness. Which craziness? What Soho is also famous for, it's cobblestone roads. So roads which look like that. There are more roads like that in downtown Manhattan, where we are now, compared to other areas. This area is pretty empty, so there is not much to show here. But if we continue straight, we will get to Broadway, so the street which we crossed in the beginning of this stream, the street that goes by diagonal. And here it becomes more interesting. So different areas of Broadway in different areas of Manhattan are different. In some areas there are mostly stores and cafes, restaurants. In other places, for example, next to Empire State Building, that's a place where they also sell drugs. Right before that, that's a place with chairs and which are mostly taken by homeless people and also like drug addicts. This area of Broadway is probably the one I prefer the most because it's clean, because it has a lot of shopping in European type houses, pretty houses. And then this Broadway goes all the way to downtown, and at the end of it there is a bull from Wall Street. So the bull is actually located, this guy is also smoking weed, the one on the bicycle. This bull is actually located not on Wall Street as many people might think, but it's located on Broadway. And we might be turning on Broadway, and if we turn, and well, if we turn twice, first right and then left, we will get to which area of Manhattan, who knows? I'm sure that Kevin does. At least Kevin. These sticks here, this is actually a landmark. You would think that this is like something, construction of the building, something. No, this is not even like some advertisement that is being changed. This is the actual landmark. Yep, drugs. How long have you lived in New York City? I've been here, Roberto, for 11 years now. So I moved from Europe to New York City, and I've lived only here all this time. I'm sorry, I didn't understand whether you're from New York or San Francisco. Where do you live? And look at the houses, exactly what I told you before. They are amazing. Look like Broadway type, Europe type, and they're located on Broadway. Very cool. If we continue to the right, that's where the not town hall, but what is it called? Where the mayor sits. The city hall is. Over there, far away, you see Chrysler Building, which is often confused with Empire State Building. They were being built during the same time. They were competitors back then as to which skyscraper will be the tallest. Empire State Building did win by just a little bit. Empire State Building, what else is interesting about it? Has its own zip code. Usually, unlike in the UK, for example, zip code is for an area, not just for one house, but Empire State Building has its own zip code. Getting close to the Lower East Side, also known as Chinatown and Little Italy. Exactly. Good job, Kevin. So Kevin, do you stream? Do you do live streams? Crosby Street. This area suffered greatly during riots in 2020. Riots, and it's when bad people were crushing stores, stealing from stores, all that crap. Lafayette Street is coming next. No, I do not. Too bad. Yes, Sergey is here, probably. Hello, Top G Network. Hello, hello. And what's great about New York is that you can be in one area and it can be very like vivid, very obvious area to, for example, that belongs to, for example, Soho. And then you can walk one street to the right, to the left, and it's a totally different world, like a totally different country. Not even a different city, but a country. Kevin, don't you upload any video on your channel, Kevin? Where we are? We are in New York. Wow, I'm in the Bronx. Take the T train over here. Sure. Stand in the line. There are a bunch of people asking me to go to places. we're in Manhattan if you are in the Bronx, so we're in Manhattan. I think that we're now not too far from that place with pizza. I'm not very familiar with this neighborhood. I know approximately where what is. If we went to Soho, then I would know. Kevin, would you please drop the link to your what? To your channel in the comment box? Is Gia's question to you, Kevin. When you come into the Bronx, let's have lunch. There are two problems with that. I don't go to Bronx. I don't have lunch. And I'm not meeting with my followers. I just don't have time for all of that. Well, I do have time to eat, but I just don't usually have lunch. Look at this graffiti. Let me just zoom in. People who like Disney, that's for you. But Sergey will not write anything because he's afraid to say hi to his fiancée Gia, Roberto. We have this church organization here as well. I don't want to read it because I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but we have it here as well, many places with it throughout the city. Honest witnesses? I don't promote my channel on other streams. It's okay, Kevin. If Nightbot doesn't yell at you for doing that, it's okay to do it. But usually Nightbot only yells at Rick. Why don't you go to the Bronx? Just curious. Because it's far. I don't have time. I don't have anything to do there. I went to Bronx a few times, but I don't need to go there now. Yeah, I don't know where like I don't want to be lost looking for that restaurant, so let's just go to Soho. And next time I will show you that pizza place. We have the best baseball team in the world and the Bronx Zoo and the best Italian and Hispanic food. Well, I went to Little Italy in the Bronx. I think the one in the city is better. But I did have great expectations of the one in the Bronx. I do not like Hispanic food. Bronx Zoo I am against because I don't like animals being kept in cages, and I know that they live longer like that, they're taken great care of, but America is a place where you can actually see them in the wild, many of them, so I don't like the zoo, and I also don't like the botanical garden. I did like Pelham Bay, and what was the island? I forgot the name of this island. City Island? Or something like that. That one I like. But you need to have a car to get there. Very few live streams go to the Bronx. Well, in that case, I should. Oh wow, we have been streaming for almost 1 hour 30 minutes now. Time flies with you guys. That's a nice area. If we continue straight, we will get to Chinatown. So let's see if we can make it all the way there. It's still some way to go though. If I see it in like 5 streets from here or 5 blocks from here, then we'll go there. The Bronx suicide. Oh, come on, Rick. Hispanic food is pretty good, I think. Tastes differ. I personally don't like it. I also don't like Chinese food. The only Asian food I do like is Japanese. So I'm live streaming. I'm afraid to walk with a gimbal in the Bronx, Kevin. Well, you know what? I don't think that Manhattan now is less dangerous than the Bronx. Things that are happening here. Crazy. Shark Gaming is here. Hello, Shark Gaming. I didn't see you write anything, but I saw yours, Robert's respond to you. Especially on dangerous area. But that's where you live, Roberto, right? You live in the Bronx too. So peaceful here, so calm. Oh, that building is a little rusty. But Roberta, you like Herald Square, and Herald Square there's probably nothing more dangerous, maybe just next block is more dangerous than Herald Square. Herald Square is extremely bad, violent, dangerous, drugs, humid. The station, 34th Street station is the worst. It's like, it feels like 200 degrees Fahrenheit there all the time. There is no AC, so it's pretty bad. Wow, look at this park. I've never been here. What is that? Such a nice place. Beautiful. I will be back. Yes, that's where you live. Plus, I have a friend from the Bronx, and yeah, so if I ever go there, it will probably not be alone. But I honestly just don't have any. It's City Island, right, in the Bronx? I don't remember the name of that island. That one I really like. They have really good seafood, nice forest. I saw an owl when I went there in winter. The only thing in the Bronx worse than the Yankees baseball. Baseball is misspelled, Ricky. And as a Russian, I don't understand baseball, so to me they're just a group of people like running from corner to corner and throwing a ball. That's it. But Natalia, Times Square is more dangerous. I would argue with you, Roberto. Wow, look at this monkey. Gorilla. Yep. I guess, yep, was about City Island. That place is really nice. Pelham Bay, like the park there, or the forest. Houses there are nice on City Island and many good restaurants. Pricey though, like Manhattan type of prices, but what can you do? The worst area in the Bronx is Hast Point. What about Gun Point or something? I remember it's Gun something. Like whenever I see that, I'm like, ooh, what can be more dangerous than that? Also, there is a place that was built on like water, the tall buildings there. And well, actually there's like Riverside in the Bronx, which is really good. So there is a part of the Bronx that is pretty cool, even probably better than Manhattan. But if no streamer really goes there, that's a place for Natalia to go to. Okay, Elizabeth Street. So let's cross to the left. And I think that's where the Chinatown begins. I already see a lot of signs in the Chinese language. I went to the Chinatown, I believe it was in Queens, not so long ago, where there is a cemetery where, what's his name? Louis Armstrong is buried. So I went to that area of Chinatown, and it was exactly because I wanted to say bad things, and instead there was honking. You know, like how in movies or in some programs they just use the sound effect to cover the bad words. So exactly my point. But here, on the contrary, Chinatown is great. What did he do, Robert, the nightbot? I live in the largest Chinatown in Queens. Well, that's the worst area. That's exactly where what I was speaking about. It's very hectic. It's overcrowded. it seemed very dirty to me. It's very like unpleasant. I am sorry, I don't mean to say anything bad about the place where you live, but I'm just sharing my observation, especially in comparison to this place here, to Chinatown here. Let's go break the animals out of the Bronx Zoo. Funny! You're so funny. Let's start with the lion. But let me see if there is anything that I missed. Nope, I don't think so. Alright. Oh, Ukrainian church. Interesting. As many times as I've been here, I've never known or seen it. Alright. Usually as we approach the heart of Chinatown, there are more and more Chinese people, but now I don't see that many. So either we're far, or they're sleeping, or something else. I want to break free. Make the world feel something. Feel something. Something good or something bad. I think New York is doing a good job at making it feel something bad. Nightbot is a... what? I don't like whenever you guys write something about Nightbot, or whenever you send some messages and you're referring to someone in the message that was blocked by Nightbot, I don't see that message. So when you write something like, what is it? What is it about? Alright. That's a nice street. It does look like it's China. Chinese street, but I think we'll go to the next one and I'll show you a beautiful American actress who is no longer alive, unfortunately. Also a lot of Koreans and... oh, speaking of Koreans. For the first time ever in my life, I'm not happy with how they do nails here. I'm sorry, it's more like a girl's talk, but maybe it will be interesting to guys as well. So the service of like nails and like stuff like that, like haircuts, is very bad in New York compared to Russia. It's like, let's put it on a scale 1 to 100. If in Russia it's like 100, then here it's like at the level of 3. That's how bad it is. So I have never, like, usually my nails were done by Chinese people, or one of the most recent times it was by some Hispanic people, I think from Ecuador. And this time I did it with people from South Korea. Well, let me show you the actress first and then I will continue my story. I like Chinatown at night. It's different at night, Roberto. So this is Audrey Hepburn, my favorite actress. When I had Periscope, I had her as my background, with my face though. And we are in, not exactly Chinatown, but there is Little Italy with Italian restaurants within Chinatown. So that's why the fire hydrant is in such a color. And to people who did not guess correctly, that's where I will be next week already. So, continuing about nails. So for the first time I did nails with people from South Korea. And I knew that they were not from China, because here Chinese people, and I don't mean to insult anyone, but I'm just telling you, stating you what I see, what I observe. They're extremely loud. They are extremely badly, like with really bad manners. They, not all of course, but majority. They can cut their nails on the train. They're very dirty. Exactly. So they're pretty bad people here. Most of them don't even speak English. I was completely surprised to have learned that Koreans, people from South Korea, are completely different. So they're quiet. They speak like I'm speaking to you now. They do not. Their language is like softer. Like you can see, like if you pass an Asian and you don't know from where that Asian is, so everything I described about people from China is exactly like, chances are that that description will show you who is from China and who is not. I was so surprised. And not only that, but like I came out of manicure with my fingers not bleeding, with my with everything being done the right way. When I say something like, don't burn my nail, please, or don't cut it, they actually listen to you. So I was surprised. 50th anniversary of something. Oh, G, who is leaving? G is leaving? G, have a great day. I hope situation will change for you in Pakistan. No, I have my own opinions. Whether they are strong or not, I'm just not afraid to share them. And whenever I see like an attitude different than majority, which is a bad majority because they are selfish, they don't respect others, I actually don't have any problem of approaching that person and saying and complimenting that person. Bleeding finger. Well, yeah, like each time, look, the way they do it, well, first of all, they cut almost the whole nail so that there is no nail, just the skin left. Like, because my nails are very thin, and each time I tell them that, and they couldn't care less. They are just rushing to do it fast. Well, this time they were rushing as well, but at the same time they did like. Usually I pay attention to the tip, not to the tip, but to the taxes that they add, because that type of service, including like haircuts and stuff, they're supposed to add not the New York tax, which is almost 9%, but 3.375%, which is 2 times less. But knowing that they might not know that themselves, or they just want to get more money from you, they always add the New York usual 9% tax. And each time I fight with the like nail places about that, but this time I was so content with what they did, how they did it, and how they spoke to me, and how they understood everything that I was saying, that I did not care about, like, I'm sure that they added 9%, maybe even more. But I didn't care. I'm happy to pay for good service. But seriously, like each time I come out of the nail place crying because it's so painful. Natalia, but you are very brave, because you having in the Rumble of Central Park, that I've been to the Rumble of Central Park. I go everywhere in Central Park. I don't see anything wrong with it. I know every corner of it. Or you meant that I was there at night? Usually I don't go through Central Park at night by myself, Roberto. But I'm also a strong believer that if something is meant to happen, it will happen. So, whether it's in Central Park or somewhere else. So that is that was Little Italy. So let's see where there is more like of Chinatown. And in Italy they are celebrating a fest now. I don't want to pronounce it because I'm sure I will do it incorrectly. That's when they lift up a figure of some saint or someone, I think some saint, and they walk around singing and being happy. Again, American flag with Italian flag. Not very crowded restaurants around here now. A lot has changed in this area since I was here last. And last time I was here is when George Clooney and Brad Pitt were in a movie called The Wolves. I think it might have come out, or it will be coming out soon. So it was filmed around here. And after next traffic light, that's where the 100% Chinatown will be seen.
It has to be checked.
Rex, hello. Can you just do your nails? No, because I can be talented in many things, but I am useless in others. Nails is one of them. I am such a useless person in nails. You know how much I paid for my manicure and pedicure? Well, I don't do usually pedicure, but since I will be, well, yesterday I went to Equinox and I was just tired to hide my nails. In Russia, they, like, all women take care of themselves. Here, no one could care less. Plus, I'm going to Italy now and then to Russia, so I had to look like a human being. So I did my pedicure and I did my manicure. They say that it's Miami colors. I don't know why, but whatever. I just chose what I chose. So guess how much? So it's regular for men who don't understand much in it, or maybe they do. Regular pedicure, which is like the cheapest, and manicure I did the most, not the most expensive, but gel, which is more expensive. Not even just gel, but powder, which is a little more expensive than gel. And I also added 10 minutes of back massage. So guess how much it was after all, like including taxes and tip. Tip is usually 20-25%. Thank you, Shark. Thank you, Kevin. So guess how much I paid for everything. After 3 guesses, I will give you the right number. This is Canal Street. This is the most famous street for Chinatown. So 3 numbers and I will tell you the right answer. The cheapest pedicure, the more expensive manicure, and 10-minute back massage. What is the price? $20, $30. Oh my god. Next guess? Rex, you're an optimist. Rex Games. They sell bags, wallets like this. They give like a list to people, and they sell Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Armani. 150, Patrick, and 1 more guess, and then I will tell you the right answer. I hear back massage. Yes, Rick, the one you have been promising me for 10 years now. Kidding. Kidding. If we continue straight, we will, it's not far from here, we will get to Brooklyn Bridge, but we were there not so long ago. You can watch one of the previous streams, so we won't go as far as Brooklyn Bridge. So 1 more number and I will tell you the right answer. But I can tell you that now that Patrick was much closer than Rex the Games. Nice, nice. So 1 more number. $170. Kamal, da-da-da-da. You were the closest. $173. 173. Good job, both Patrick and Kamal. Excuse me if I did not pronounce the name correctly. Patrick, Kamal, Sergey, if you are here, your favorite food. Sergey just really loves seafood.
Letting you choose like every place.
You didn't write it, Mr. Bronx. Maria, hello, but unfortunately, soon enough, goodbye. Я уже почти все. We're in Chinatown. We'll walk a little more in Chinatown and then I gotta go back to work. 200. Well, somewhere they're closer, Mr. Rex. Much closer. It smells so bad here. So bad. It's like a place where they sell bread and stuff. It's supposed to smell like yummy, but it smells like me. Chinatown is suspiciously calm now. Usually it's well, there are many white people here, but there are usually many more Asians. It's mostly Asians. It's a little weird to see it like that now. I like when it's like so authentic here, where you can go to a place like this and it's like Asia. When you can go to Brighton and there are a lot of Ukrainians there, people, Brighton Beach. People think that it's a Russian area, but in fact it's Ukrainian. There are Russian-speaking areas, but it's more Ukrainian than Russian. Not so many. Like I never met any Russian from Russia there. Also, I like that there is Asian music here. Voila! And this today, let it be the end of the stream. I hope you liked it. If you did, just put a small like, click just the like button, just one button. If you didn't, click the dislike button. If you are first time on my channel, you can subscribe to it. Next stream will be before I leave for Europe, which will be, I don't know when, but probably on Monday. With this, I would like to say thank you for watching my stream today from New York, and see you guys next time. You're welcome, Sergey. Bye bye, guys.